I hope you guys are doing good and keeping safe. But before we continue with our lesson today, why don't you help me by getting up on your feet and let's get our Sunday praise on.
Without touching the floor. Whoa! Okay, and then when I count to 3, we're gonna jump up all together as high as you can. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. With all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, with all my strength. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I will love you, Lord, with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, and with all my strength.
Matt, can you tell me what trivia we're going to do today?
Sure, Candy. So, kids, today we're going to start a little hero trivia.
I'm sure you kids know a lot of superheroes, but today we're going to learn about a man from the Bible that started off more as a villain than a superhero.
Was his name Batman?
No, Matt, his name was Saul, and he hated Christians.
Hated Christians?
Yeah, he hated them. And if anyone preached about Jesus, he made sure they were arrested and punished.
That's awful, Candy.
Yeah, Matt, it is. Saul knew that the Messiah was real, but he never believed that Jesus was the Messiah. But that was before he met Jesus. Jesus led him to believers that accepted him, that taught him, and helped him to spread the gospel throughout the world. Do you want to know something interesting, Matt?
Yes, Candy.
Saul later became known as Paul. Have a look at this video.
The Miracle of Mercy. Paul. This is Saul. Saul was a Pharisee who hated the followers of Jesus so much that he would hunt them down to be brought to trial in Jerusalem. And he would even seek to murder them. Saul was uttering threats with every breath, and he was eager to kill the Lord's followers. So he went to the high priest. He asked him to write a letter to the Jews in Damascus that would allow him to arrest any Christians he found there. He wanted to bring them, both men and women, back to Jerusalem in chains. Now Saul went on his way, and as he came near Damascus, a light from heaven flashed around him, and he heard a voice that said, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" Saul cried out, "Who are you, Lord?" And the voice said, "I am Jesus. Rise and go into the city, and you will be told what to do." So Saul got up and he opened his eyes, but he couldn't see anything. So the men who were with Saul led him into the city. After 3 days, a man named Ananias came to Saul. He put his hands on Saul, and immediately Saul could see again. And with that, Saul became a follower of Jesus. He became the very thing he had tried to hunt. And he immediately began telling people that Jesus is the Son of God, and he taught them about the mercy of God that he had received. And all who heard him were amazed. He then went by a new name, Paul, as he began preaching not just to the Jewish people, but to everyone. Despite many difficulties like being imprisoned, shipwrecked, and narrowly escaping death multiple times, Paul continued to preach about Jesus. Paul said that he would do everything he could to save people and help them know God. And that's just what he did in order to reach people who would otherwise be unreached. And many came to know Jesus because of what Paul said. Paul taught many in his day through his letters, but even more have come to learn more about Jesus through the letters of Paul that can be read even to this day.
He performed so many miracles. Paul was chained up in a prison one night, and God shook the walls and tore his chains away. He survived a shipwreck on board a prison ship as well. Paul's life truly shows us that anyone can become a hero of faith. You may just be kids, but even as kids, you can make a difference in the world. God can use us to show our friends and classmates that Jesus loves them. He can use us to serve our church and our community. He can also use us to lead people to Jesus. Paul shows us that we can't give up on anyone becoming a Christian. So always remember that God can use anyone to spread his word, and even the villain can turn into a hero. So be the hero, kids. But that's it for me today. See you guys soon.
See you next week, kids. Bye.
Bye.